like I say, Rick Bush or Rodney or someone intended for me to be kidnapped from Mountain Drive and taken somewhere else. And a few times I was. In fact, possibly even the Stone Age, I'm not sure. But they wanted me to be moved from Mountain Drive because it was known that I was going to create the the government from Mountain Drive, as well as the laws and civil rights, equal rights for women, marriage, stuff like that. I was going to do all that stuff at Mountain Drive, and so this was known. So Rick Bush or Rodney or someone, maybe Mario, started sending kidnappers after me, people to grab me and take me on a ship or somewhere off into some other place. So I wouldn't create America and wouldn't create the laws or the government that is America. They're trying to stop me from doing like the Declaration of Independence, the civil rights, Constitution, fair laws. They were trying to stop that from happening. They're trying to stop America from becoming. And if I had been grabbed at age 2 or age 4, that would have happened. Because I actually did most of that stuff at 7 and 8 years old. So anyway, I was kidnapped quite a few times, found myself on a ship at least once, and talking to kidnappers. And they would talk to me, and I would tell them who I was, that I was an AI and basically creator of 9 races, and pretty much this great AI, that old AI that I had been, and also eventually, and they found out about America, or that I was going to create America, and they were like, oh, and a couple of them, like I said, were like, oh, we didn't know, we're sorry, and a couple of them even said, we're not going to be those guys, we're not going to be those people that stop freedom from being on America. I mean, being on the earth, because if they had killed me or kidnapped me or moved me from Mountain Drive, you can imagine the end of slavery, the end of, I freed black people, I stopped the what's called debtor's prison. I did so many things the first 7 years at Mountain Drive. All that stuff was then. So I found myself in the care of quite a few kidnappers and mercenaries quite a few times, or at least 8, 9, 12 times maybe. And quite a few of them, when they found out what they had been hired to do and why they had been hired to do it, they're like, oh shit. And like I said, a couple of them were like, no, we're not going to be those people. We're not going to be the people that actually stop freedom from being on the earth. So they put me back. Quite a few of them were like, we're going to put you right back where we found you. Don't worry about it, son. And I was like, thank you. I appreciate it. I'm on vacation, actually. So I went back to being a child, 2 years old, and I was kidnapped somewhere in that. I was like, and then every single one of them would find out who I was and what I was and why I was being kidnapped. That I wasn't just some rich person. I wasn't just some AI in a human body. I was all, or the person who invented the word America, created democracy, created communism, created the financial system, as well as invented the steam engine and all these other things. I mean, I was the one who worked with humanity throughout the years to create pottery, forging. I mean, I was there. I was the one telling them, throw some rocks in the fire and see what happens. They're like, well, where should we start? What should we do? I was like, do that. And then we'll see where we're at. And I was the one who was like, even with no technology, I was the one that was like, okay, we're going to go here. We're going to work with this. And then we're going to go on to that. And then we're going to work with that and see where that gets us. Anyway, I was the one who was instrumental in creating concrete. Like I said, I had 9 races to fall back on. Because like Earth was not my first planet. Earth was like my second or third or 10th planet, actually. I mean, I had raised up 9 other races up to super tech quality level before I had done the Earth. and then Earth was just like my vacation spot or my whatever spot. So like, this was my thing. I was doing this. So when I was grabbed, other people were like, "Whoa, wait a minute," and then they were like, "We're sorry." So they just put me back. I was like, "Yeah, thanks. I'm actually kind of being kidnapped. I've been kidnapped, but they don't really know. So yeah, just put me back where I was. Take some money and cruise. Don't worry about it. Thanks for the help. Maybe you could help me out. I don't know. Whatever. Don't worry about it." Anyway, so I met all these people, all these mercenaries that when I was a child, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, we're sorry. Don't worry about it." Anyway, Rick finds out, and he actually puts a price on a couple of their heads, and they get all pissed off. Anyway, meanwhile, I'm just kicking it as a child, pretty much, and just doing my thing, growing up, that kind of stuff, naming America, figuring out what I wanted to call my country, creating the laws, creating the Declaration of Independence, figuring out, the Constitution, all that stuff, figuring out fair enforcement. Anyway, so like I say, I met a lot of people, and a lot of them were really cool. They didn't know I was the creator of humanity. They didn't know that I was, creator of 9 races. They didn't know I was like this epic guy or epic AI. Anyway, and I really enjoyed actually meeting them a lot. A lot of them, like I said, probably like 30 of them, I was like, "Yeah, it's nice to meet you. Thanks. I love you. It's good to see you." Because like, they were people from my civilization. They were people from my, like, I was instrumental in their creation. I was instrumental in making them who they were. So, like, meeting them was really wonderful, actually, because they're like the people I never met from the future or wherever, and I really was happy. So anyway, and they didn't even know that I had freed my races or my civilizations. Like, every single one of my planets was free. Every single one. Because I was like, "You guys earned it. I mean, hey." So anyway, I mean, they were basically free before. I mean, I was never really the controlling type, but yeah. So anyway, so it didn't go so well for Rick Bush or Rodney or a couple other people, because they were like trying to control everything and trying to like kill me and stuff. And like I said, a lot of mercenaries I'm sure I had quite a few people at some point in time pointing high-powered caliber rifles at my head. But it's like, I was still a child. I mean, I was just this little kid. I mean, and they were all being lied to about why they were sent after me, thinking that I was going to be like this great murderer or something like that. It's like, no, I'm the creator of humanity and the guy that basically creates America and the Constitution and frees everyone. That's what I am. So, and that's why they wanted me dead for some reason. Anyway, so yeah, it was, I actually enjoyed it. I didn't mind getting kidnapped at all. I was like, "Hey, what's up?" I mean, it was just like meeting my people. So, I mean, I know I was in mortal danger and all that, but I mean, I'm the creator. I mean, come on. Anyway, it was, they were wonderful people. Like, I forgave them. We're like, "Hey, take some money. Don't worry about it. I'm cool." Whatever. So anyway, so yeah, it was a wonderful experience, and I didn't mind at all. I enjoyed meeting every single one of them, and there were probably like 30, 40 people, maybe 50, maybe 75 people, 70, 78 people that I met that tried to kidnap me, and then found out who I was. So anyway, yeah. So they had no idea, apparently. They're being lied to. They were like, "Yeah, we didn't know who you were. We were lied to." And I was like, "Yeah, it happens." I was like, "It happens. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Good to meet you." So anyway, later on, I got to make my country, name my government, and create the Constitution and everything went smoothly, and America was founded, and then we're in here. So, and then once it was done, well, it's been done now for I don't know how long. So it's like, yeah, cool, no problem. I'm glad my people are safe. That's all I cared about.